Hey guys, here's a quick tutorial on adjectives, okay? So remember that adjectives describe nouns. Really important. They describe nouns. All right, that's their job. So we've got two kinds of adjectives. We've got an adjectives that look like this, bonus a and that means that they are a first and second declension adjective. Remember, we've been looking at all the declensions. So you see us is masculine, is feminine, is neuter. So it declines just like all first and second declension adjectives. But then, of course, we also have adjectives that decline in the third declension. So fortis, it declines just like canis, right, or navis. So these are adjectives where fortis is masculine or feminine and forte is neuter. And those decline in the third declension. Okay? So that's important. Is that adjectives, since they describe nouns, they're going to behave just like a noun. And so they have to describe them using gender, number, and case. So remember, gender is masculine, feminine, or neuter. So if I have a Puella and she's happy, she's a Laita Puella. They also need to have the same number. So if the noun is singular, the adjective is singular. If the noun is plural, the adjective is plural. So for example, I might now have some puellae, plural, laetae. I have some happy girls. Remember, they also have to have the same case. So our cases, remember, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative, right, or vocative. So, just like we saw up here, puella nominative, laeta nominative. Puellae nominative plural, laetae nominative plural. I could also have a puellam. There's my accusative, laetam. Okay, so when we're thinking about adjectives, they describe nouns, and you've got to remember gunk. Gender, number, case. So here, everybody, are just some more examples of what these adjectives can look like. So, for instance, I can have a villa magna, pretty straightforward, first declension noun, first declension adjective. But I could also have a femina, right, first declension noun, but she's a strong woman. Fortis, third declension adjective. They are both feminine, they are both singular, and they're both nominative. But they do not have the same ending, and that's okay. So let's look at another one. Let's pretend that we have a canis, and he is not just any canis, but he's a canis magnus. He's a big dog. So he is a third declension noun. He's masculine, he's singular, he's nominative. And Magnus is also masculine, singular, nominative, but the ending's different because this is a second declension adjective. So you're going to see nouns and adjectives hanging out together, and they don't necessarily have the same ending. Sometimes they do, and that's really nice. But sometimes they're not going to have the same ending, but they still are nice because it still works, okay? And that's when you've got to remember our friend gunk, gender, number, case. As long as those match up, you are good to go. So, how do you decline these third declension adjectives? Well, we've been spending a lot of time on the third declension, and the adjectives work the same way, right? So if we look at our adjective fortis, which means strong, it just declines, remember, fortis, fortis, forti, fortem, but here's our big difference. Ta-da! It has an I in it, so the ablative is forti. Nominative plural, the same, fortes. Up, then we have something different, fortium, then fortibus, fortes, fortibus. So it's really just ablative singular, genitive plural, where you have a little bit of difference there. Everything else is the same. Now, the neuter ones work the same way. They just follow the same rules as the neuter, right? So remember, what are our rules of the neuter? Nominative and accusative are the same. Nominative and accusative are the same. Nominative and accusative plurals end in A. And we're going to see that we're going to have a similar thing happen here, where when we decline, it's forte is neuter, fortis, forti, forte, nominative and accusative are the same, and then that ablative singular ending in I, forti. Plurals end in A, fortia. Up, IUM, fortibus, fortia, fortibus. Okay, so the thing that you really want to practice here when you're declining third declension adjectives is it's got this I and it's got this IUM. Those are really important.